Hey, Rob Shank here. I'm trying this quick capture feature on YouTube, which means you have no chance to post edit. You can't edit anything. So if I sneeze or cough or the telephone rings or my cell phone goes off, you got it all. I'm sitting here in my own family room. Of course, behind me, the Christmas tree, or as my dad called it growing up, a Hanukkah bush, and next to it, the Hanukkah menorah. We're in the countdown here, folks. Talk about Advent. We are racing towards the Christmas holidays, and I trust that yours isn't simply frenetic, but that you're appreciating the real reason for this season. I've been writing and talking and blogging and vlogging, the new video blogs, about that. My encounter with Nancy Pelosi, the tree lighting ceremony, all of that, and the nativity scenes in front of the Supreme Court, in front of our building and around the country. This is a great time to make a statement about the importance of this, the most important event in human history. One of the Supreme Court justices tells the story how when he was in college, one of his professors asked him, what is the greatest event in all of Western history? And he came up with what he thought was a clever answer about the Napoleonic Wars or something, and the professor corrected him. This was a Catholic institution, and his history professor said, no, that is not the correct answer. The correct answer is the incarnation. The incarnation, when God entered this world in the form of a human person, in Jesus Christ, the babe born at Bethlehem. That was the greatest event in all of human history, because it was the culmination of God's plan of redemption, of salvation for mankind. What a thing for a Supreme Court justice to say, huh? Well, it was a beautiful story. And this is a beautiful season. And I hope you're sensing that as well. We've had a lot of activity, and we sort of turn our hearts and our heads towards giving in this season for obvious reasons. God gave to us his greatest gift, his only son. That's the embodiment, literally, of the gospel. In John 3:16, God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten son, that whosoever believeth in him should not perish but have everlasting life. God gave to us what was most precious to him so that we could receive what is most valuable to us, which is our salvation. That's reason enough to give at the Christmas season. And so we're doing that in spiritual and in temporal, tangible ways. And we did it yesterday, making a delivery to a transitional housing complex, housing program here in Washington, D.C., which helps displaced families. These are families with children who are homeless. And they're launching a reading program, which is a big part of my life because I did something similar 20 years ago when my brother Paul and I founded Hearts for the Homeless in Western New York State. And part of it was something called Read-A-Rama, helping children to read, because reading is the key to succeeding in education, which is a key towards economic independence eventually. And that's only part, I know, that's just the earthly part. But by expressing our love in that way, it gives you a hearing for the better part of the message, which is God's love for these children and God's love for humankind. By the way, this is a faith-based organization in Washington, so it combines the best of both worlds. So we're giving in this season, and there's a lot of other stuff I'm not going to tell you, because Jesus said you don't let one hand know what the other hand is doing. So we'll keep that to ourselves, but I hope this is a spirit of, or a season rather, of giving for you. And thank you, by the way, to all those who have shared so generously with us during this Christmas season. You know, we had a tough time looking towards our Christmas payroll for our very hardworking team, and we're getting there. We're almost there, so that we can end the year giving our folks in return for what they have given so generously to this ministry. Thank you for what you've done for us, and may God return it to you manyfold. I'll be back with you tomorrow comparing my home Christmas tree and Hanukkah menorah to the one we have at the ministry center. I'll check in from under the tree at the ministry center. You'll see it's just a little more polished because we have some professional help with it, and I'll tell you about that wonderful friend who volunteers her time to make sure our ministry center looks its best at Christmas. Okay, I've overstayed my welcome. See you tomorrow.